Good afternoon, Workato fam, and welcome back to fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here coming to the conclusion of our 2 days of live broadcast at World of Workato, but don't worry, we've got 3 fantastic guests left. My name's Savannah Peterson, just rocking the whole week with Rob Strechay. Rob, it's getting close to Genie time. Have you figured out what your personal Genie is going to be?
I think I got a good lead on my Genie, but we'll see.
Ooh, okay. Well, speaking of fun, this next guest comes as a very hyped up ball of fun. Nam, thank you so much for being here to hang out with us.
Thanks for having me.
This is going to be awesome. So talk to us a little bit about why this week is so special for you and getting to engage with all your customers.
You know, I think the fun part about this is I've been at Workato for 6.5, almost 7 years
Oh,
now.
you've seen quite a bit of the journey.
I've seen a lot of the journey.
That's awesome.
I have the trauma and the scar tissue.
Yeah.
But the fun part about it is that you make seismic leaps from time to time. And since we've been having these conferences, it's like a good milestone to make seismic leaps. And it feels like we're making one right now.
I know,
like
it's
the
a
lights
little
just did.
Okay. I love that our production lights stayed on, though. Shout out to the production team for that. Yeah.
Good work. And you know, it's always good. It's a good testament to everybody's work, what you're doing, and seeing so many people here, you know, having a community, and you get to feel and be part of the community. I mean, we go through stuff on a day-to-day basis. You don't get to feel that. So giving it a week and you get to feel that again, then you can go grind back at home. Hey, that's worth it.
Absolutely. So what's been the most inspiring moment for you? You know, what's been the best energy shot that you got out of this?
I think I'm going to go back just to my team. There was a moment, my team had no idea what we're doing coming into this. We were prepping for, I think we wrote our keynote like 90 minutes before we gave our keynote. Coming off of the stage.
Talk about agility and innovation there. I love that. Love that.
Yeah, but coming off of the stage, how excited I saw our customers and our prospects excited, but they're supposed to be excited. They're in Vegas and, you know, we're hosting them. To watch my team get excited and get, you know, ask questions, get engaged and feel like they're part of the greater journey, I think, you know, made me want to do this forever. I'm not going to do this forever, but made me want to do it forever.
Oh, that's a really good feeling. So it was that positive ripple effects and cultural moment. I got to ask you, because I haven't actually had a chance to ask anyone this quite specifically. One of the things that Rob and I have been most impressed with is the culture at Workato and the depth of authentic relationships that you have with your community, whether they be partners or customers. How do you ensure that culture quality control?
That's a good question. I think for me in particular, I try to deliver good news and fast, or good news and bad news, same speed, same verb velocity, right? And so anybody can say they have a good culture when everything is going well. It's really what you do when, you know, it's in the fan, it's chaotic. Can you tell your customers, can you tell each other the bad stuff that's happening, right?
Yeah.
Is someone going to tell the electrician right now, like, what the hell? Like, is there a ghost in here?
I know, that was what I was thinking. No kidding. When it went the third time, I thought, oh, there's a ghost in here. Okay, hello, ghost.
Yeah. But that is it. I think we have a culture where when I tell you you did well, you'll believe it, because when you're not, I'm going to tell you just the same. It comes from the exact same place, and that's kind of where it starts. And then outside of that, man, we're just building cool stuff with our friends. That's what it feels like most days here.
I love that. We just get to hang out on the news desk with our friends at this stuff.
Absolutely. And I think what's interesting is, and maybe not a lot of people who are different customers, but we were talking about it, how there's over 500 ISVs that actually use this. And that was one of the stats that really, I think it's a differentiator of Workato and how you go to market. It's also a differentiator in how people are actually using your platform. Kind of talk to the ISV and SaaS journey for those types of customers as they are, you know, probably started off in the orchestration automation space and now are looking towards Agentic.
Yeah, look, at the core of it, I have the coolest job at Workato. And the reason why that is every single one of my customers is getting to push the boundaries of their own product. So I'm like the only one at Workato. My team's the only one at Workato. We get to work with other people in our seats that are trying to break stuff, right? And that means you get to work with the brightest people in the industry, solving the biggest problems in the industry, and we get to be a part of the solution. And half the time, we're like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it keeps working.
Yeah.
So when the product's that strong, you can kind of keep going at it. And so why we didn't tell anyone what we were doing when it came to the Agentic piece is because you can actually in real time with our product team begin to build the product in real time as well. And so We're really excited about the foundation we laid with the 500 customers here. I know we're the biggest embedded ISV or biggest embedded iPaaS player in the entire market. And so we're really capitalizing on that success. I don't want to waste the opportunity.
Right.
And so how we are going to help people deploy their agentic strategies within their product, I think is going to set the standard for how all ISVs are going to do it.
I think you're absolutely right. It's incredibly impressive how quickly you've moved in the last year to be able to pull all of this together. I'm not surprised you were doing your keynote because I'm sure there was stuff happening the week before that got fueled into that. No, I mean I'm being cute, but that's also I think that's very real. How do you think this revolution is going to affect the broader SaaS market as a whole?
Look, a reckoning was coming. SaaS has been exploding for 15, 20 years at least. The reality of the matter that no one ever wants to talk about is some SaaS companies didn't really bring enough value to their customers. It was someone's cool idea, it's a niche product, there just wasn't a ton of value in the market. Those companies are gonna have trouble right now with the agentic strategies coming out. Mm-hmm. But the good news, other than the dinosaur behind us now, the good news is that if you do deliver deep value and your agentic strategy deepens that value, man, you're gonna thrive, right? And we pride ourselves in that we do the hard stuff. That's what we always tell our customers, each other. Every day we wake up, we do the hard stuff. Companies that feel like they share that DNA with us, do the hard stuff. Take on the stuff your users dread in the morning. If you can do that, man, I promise you, this is gonna be a moment for you to thrive. And if you don't, if you feel like you're doing the easy stuff, someone's gonna eat your lunch.
So when you look at your customers on the embed side, and you're talking to them, and there's others out there that do similar type stuff. Yeah. What is it, do you think, that differentiates and gives you that advantage with those customers and has allowed you to gain over 500 of them?
So a couple of things. Number one, the people on my team, I've been at Workato for 7 years, but we've been doing OEM integrations as a unit for probably 11 or 12 years, some of us, right? So the industry is not that long. If I were to have a consulting firm to get the best and the brightest, they all work here with me today in OEM integration. So our people differentiate us for sure. The second piece,
with that? Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The second piece is what I said, is that when we see a host of problems, most of our competitors take low-hanging fruit. But there's no fun in that, right? All you're really doing in that instance is trying to check a box. When we see people come to us with problems, and if it feels too simple, we'll tell them to bring us a bigger problem to solve. Give me something valuable to solve for. And I think that mentality that not only do we want to do it, but we can do it. And we can do it over and over and over again. Not just differentiates us in that moment where we close a sale. The longer we've been doing this, the greater the moat that we've been growing for us and anybody who wants to even enter into the ecosystem now. So I think it's really that mentality of, look, if someone can solve it, it's going to be us, and if we can't solve it, man, I bet you no one else is gonna.
Talk about having confidence in your team. Yeah. I absolutely I love that attitude, and I think it's really compelling. I mean, we've been very much struck by the culture that you all have, the great people on the team, the leadership. It's grounded in a way that's so people forward. It's refreshing. It's been really refreshing. All right, so I've got a little bit of a curveball for you.
Curveballs are good.
I see that you majored in creative writing.
Yes.
And I think that's interesting, and I could ask you a whole other conversation about what brought you into tech. But my question is, how do you find your creative writing background helps you be a creative leader pushing the boundaries at Workato?
A co-founder asked me this a few years ago. We're talking about like how, one of the people that, the woman that started the business unit with me, she's a mechanical engineering major. She's like, do you ever use your major? And then they asked me, like, do you ever use your major? Very flippantly. And I told them I use it literally every day.
I bet.
As a creative writing major, really your main job, the only job that you have is, can you make people feel what you feel? But the most important thing there is you have to feel it first, right? And when I was a salesperson, that's all I really wanted to convey. The excitement I have, the fears I have, I just shared it with people in the most authentic way I can feel it. And then it started to work. And I'm like, this felt like a life hack. So I just kept going with it. As we've built the team, as we've grown the team, nothing's changed. When I get excited, I just tell people what excites me. And I pray to God they don't laugh at me. but it works. And I think, again, if we can lead authentically, we can live authentically, that's really all it takes. And yeah, I mean, when I was a writer, and I was a pretty good writer, I would say, I think that was my superpower. And now as a leader, I think, it's the exact same skill set that I use every single day.
Yep.
As the writers would do in a reading.
I was a poetry major.
Yeah. That is so beautifully stated, and that actually just spawned a unique thought I hadn't had at all in this AI revolution. I wonder, so, obviously students going to school right now, we get asked this all the time, should young people still major in computer science? How is that going to look different? There's a lot of layers to that question. I'm not necessarily saying we need to unpack that right now, but what might be really interesting is there could be this resurgence to the creative arts in a way that is unique and differentiated, because to your exact point, if you can't make people feel something, they're not going to stick.
Yeah.
They're not going to stay. I mean, it's like it's like with all the AI, people using AI for writing. I'm sorry, I don't read your article if it was written by AI. It's boring, and I can tell right away that there's no soul in that.
Yeah.
And that's a really key differentiator. So what would you, actually now I'm going to ask you, what would you tell people to major in right now?
I got kids that are 14 and 16, and they ask me what to study. In all honesty, it matters. It absolutely matters. But at the core of it, you got to do something that you're going to love to do and that you're willing to try to be the best at. That's really the only important thing. I'll talk about kind of the art piece here. What AI has done, because everything is like probabilistic, is that, to your point, anything that's created there is going to be not mediocre, but pretty mediocre. And so in art, mediocre art is worthless, right? But the problem is you have to be in a situation where people want extraordinary, and you have to be someone who's expecting extraordinary. So can you create that culture? If you're there, AI can help you get there. It can do some of the work, but you have to take it over and create something great. I think that's where AI can come into play there. And my daughter just took an NYU class over the summer where she was creating
First
art.
of all, good for her. Yeah, you must be so proud.
I am, because this is the second time I've told this story like in a more public setting. So yes, I'm going to brag about her. But I think what the coolest thing for me to see about that was there were some students that used AI to create art, and it was mediocre. Mm-hmm. And she hand sculpted things and asked AI to give her feedback and what does this look like, and got some context behind it.
Yeah.
And then she kept getting better at it, and I'm like, hey, that's exactly kind of the relationship I want to make sure most people will have with AI, because then that's what really was going to accelerate all of us, right? So, hey, look, I think if you're going into school and you're looking for something to study, do something that you're going to love, and you're going to love it a lot, and then you can do it with some cool people. That'd be great too, and that's going to be enough. And if you can make a lot of money on it, then you can get lucky with it too, but that's good enough.
I love that. You want to say hi to your daughters and your fam right now?
Hi, daughter and fam. Ani, Holden, Leslie, hello.
I love that. Dan, thank you so much for being on the show with us today. This
Appreciate
has been such a fun one. I know you were pinch hitting and thrown in at the last minute, but you're just a gem. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Rob. And thank all of you for tuning in to our fantastic 2 days of live coverage here at World of Workato in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Savannah Peterson. You're watching theCUBE, the leading source for enterprise tech news.